Welcome to ClientConnect, the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo's online client portal. ClientConnect allows you to access your fund information at any time. In this training video, you will learn how to access the site, set up your password, review your fund history, and make grant recommendations. As a client with a fund at the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo, you can access ClientConnect at any time by clicking on the ClientConnect login located on the Community Foundation's homepage. If you have not set up your ClientConnect login credentials yet, you will receive an email from the Community Foundation with a unique URL which will allow you to set up your access. Your login will be the email address the Community Foundation has on file for you. You must then select a password of at least 12 characters, including one of each: an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, number, and symbol. Once you have entered your password twice, click the Save button at the bottom of the screen. You will now see a setup confirmation page. Please click the Continue button. If you are an advisor to more than one fund, you will have the option to select which fund you would like to view. If you are an advisor to only one fund, you will proceed directly to your fund's dashboard. The dashboard provides a snapshot of your fund and your grant making. From here, you can view your fund's spendable balance, review your grant history, view contributions to your fund, access your quarterly fund statements, and recommend grants. Use the navigation bar across the top of the screen to view your fund details. If you have an endowed fund, you will see how much is available for your grant making in the spendable balance line. If you have a fund that allows you to make grants in an amount up to and including the full balance of your fund, you will only see the current balance amount. The charts at the bottom of the screen provide a visual overview of the contributions to your fund and your grant making. If you click on the profile information icon at the top of the screen, you will be able to review and update any of your profile information. If you update any of your information, the Community Foundation team will be notified, and the updated information will automatically be saved in our database. To view your gift history, select the Gifts tab from the navigation bar. Here, you can view all of the gifts that have been made to your fund. By clicking on the contributor's name, you'll be able to see their history of giving to your fund, as well as their name, address, and email address. Your gift history can be exported into Microsoft Excel by clicking the Export tab on the far right-hand side. The Grants tab shows a summary of grants made from your fund, along with a full history of grant recommendations. By clicking on the organization name in the Grantee Summary section, you can see a full history of grants made to that organization. Clicking on the Copy tab on this page will allow you to recommend another grant to the same organization. While the amount of the grant you have selected to copy will auto-populate the grant recommendation form, you can choose to select a new grant amount or a new purpose for that grant. As with the gifts, your grant history can be exported into Microsoft Excel by clicking the Export tab on the far right-hand side. ClientConnect makes it easy for you to recommend a grant from your fund. You can replicate previous grants you have made or search for new organizations to support with a grant. The first step in recommending a grant is to identify the grantee, that is, the organization that will receive the grant, using one of the three methods available on this screen. Choose from a previous grantee, search for other grantees, or enter grantee information manually. To choose from a previous grantee that you have given to, you can select the grantees you have given to in a past drop-down and select the organization from this list. You also have the option to make grants to other foundations, funds held at the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo by selecting the Other Foundation Funds drop-down. This will make an inter-fund transfer from your fund to any of these funds listed. You may also search for grantees by entering the information in the search for other grantees box. We will use Shays as an example and search for that. Here we see that Shays Performing Arts Center comes up is a search result in the Community Foundation for Greater Buffalo results. This means that other clients at the Community Foundation or the Community Foundation itself has made grants to this nonprofit organization. And you can go ahead and click Create Request if you would like to create a request for this organization. A brand new feature in ClientConnect is the ability to use GuideStar, a national nonprofit which collects information on 501c3s in the United States. If your result does not show up in the Community Foundation's database. So if I search for Michigan Audubon Society, state of Michigan, and I search for that, this does not come up in the Community Foundation search results. But if I click the GuideStar results, I see the Michigan Audubon Society in Okemos, Michigan. And this is the organization that I would like to create a request for. If you do not find the organization that you would like to support with a grant, you can enter your grantee information manually. Please complete all the required fields: name, address, city, state, zip code, phone, and hit submit. The Community Foundations team will then search and confirm whether or not this organization is a 501c3 and is eligible to receive a grant from your fund. We will be in communication with you throughout the process and let you know of our findings. Let's go ahead and make a new grant. We'll make one to the Center for Hospice and Palliative Care here in Buffalo. The grantee name will show up here in the new grant request form. If you would like to add additional contact at the organization to receive a copy of the grantee notification letter, say, for example, you worked with a particular program officer or a gift officer, you can enter the additional grantee contact information by clicking this radio button and entering their information here. And a copy of the grantee notification letter will be sent to that individual. The description box is where you put any specific purpose for the grant that you would like to make. The Community Foundation's default purpose, if this box is left blank, is for the grant to be used for the organization's unrestricted use. Let's go ahead and put patient care here as a description. Next, fill out the amount box. The minimum grant for the Community Foundation is $100. We'll go ahead and put $500 in here. If you would like your grant to be made anonymously, you can click the anonymous button. This means that your name and your fund name will not show up on the grant check or the grant notification letter. Instead, we ask the organization to please send any thank you or acknowledgement letters to the Community Foundation, and we will pass them along to you. If you would like a grant to be recurring, you can click the recurring button and complete the information that populates below, including when you would like the first grant to be made, how often you would like that grant to be made, whether monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, that is twice a year, or annually, and the number of recurring incidences. If this box is left blank, the grant will continue until there are no funds available to continue to make that grant. If you have other additional information that you would like the Community Foundation to see in regards to the grant request you are making, you can attach a file in the grant request and put an attachment description with that file. If there is additional information that you would like the Community Foundation team to know, whether you are making this grant as a memorial and would like us to send a notification to the family, you can add that information into the additional notes section here. Once you have completed the new grant request form, click Review. Here you can see the grant request details. If you would like to change something, you can hit the edit request button and go back. Or if everything looks good, you can hit submit request. You will get the green grant request submitted confirmation box. Click continue. And here you see the grant show up in your pending grant folder. If you wake up the next morning or later that day and decide that I don't actually want to make this grant, you can go ahead and click cancel and remove that grant from the pending box. If you have any questions about the grant recommendation process, please do not hesitate to reach out to the Community Foundation. We are happy to answer any questions and provide you with the support you may need. Finally, the Statements tab lists the quarterly fund statements from your fund. You'll be able to view fund statements immediately after they are created. Fund statements are typically uploaded 5 weeks from the end of the quarter. To download your statement to be viewed, saved, or printed, click the View button next to the statement that you would like to see. This will open your statement in a new window. Once you have completed your work in ClientConnect, you can click the Log Out button. This will log you out from ClientConnect. For security purposes, ClientConnect automatically logs out users at the end of each evening. If you forgot your password or would like to reset your password, go to the ClientConnect login page and click Forget Password. Enter your login email address and an email will be sent to you with instructions on creating a new password. If you have tried to reset your password and your login attempts fail, or you cannot remember your username, please contact Nora Kennan by phone at 716-852-2857, extension 254. Thank you so much for joining us for this training video. We hope that you enjoy ClientConnect and that it allows you to make the most of your generosity.